So Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin, is the ultimate snitch. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Wow. Absolutely mind blowing episode of Gotham. Um, this one had me literally talking out loud to the television, and not many TV series can get that kind of reaction out of me. Um, this was a serious roller coaster of action and drama and suspense and twists and turns. Um, man, this there's so much in this episode. It's almost hard to say where to start. Um, I'm going to cover two main points in this video, and then the sub points around those. First point I'm going to talk about is a criminal new to the series who is working for Falcone named Zsasz, Victor Zsasz. Um, and as I'm writing the notes for this episode, I think I spelled it like 5 different ways. So, but nonetheless, his name is Zsasz. Very, very eye-popping figure in this series so far. And while looking up pictures for the thumbnail of this video, I saw some comic book version pictures of Victor Zsasz. And apparently, as he's more matured of a character later in the DC comic book series of one of the Batman series, he apparently has scars and cuts all over his face. But we see in this episode how that starts. As he killed one of the cops partway through the episode and trying to kill Gordon because Falcone wanted him dead. A lot of people want Gordon in this episode dead. Wow. I mean, I don't know how Gordon got out of this episode alive. All right, back to Zsasz. I don't know if it's for how many cops he killed or for how many people he's killed. Now, he looks fairly young. He looks like he's in his 20s. He's a young gangster hitman guy. So it's either for cops or for just men in general that he's killed. But he said, as he killed the one cop, he said, that's 28. Rolled up his sleeve, and he's got sections of 5, 5, 5, 5 up his arm, sections of cuts. And they showed him with one of those utility knives, carving, another cut in his arm. He goes, 28 or something like that. Like he almost orgasmed over, killing another person or cop. Either or. Wow. I mean, and if somewhere later, in his history leading up to being one of the big villains of Gotham and being one of the not chief, but one of the, bigger villains of the guys to go against Batman later somewhere in the DC comic book series, he's covered in cuts. So that just says right there how many people he's killed. If he's running out of places on his body to cut, dear Lord, I mean, just shows you what kind of character he is. Like I said, everybody wants Gordon dead. Harvey almost kills him in the Gotham City Police Department locker room, for crying out loud. Has a gun on him. Because Harvey's like, thanks, we're both dead. I might as well kill you right now. And like I said, it's an absolute miracle that Jim gets out of here alive and shows you how tough of a character he is. He could have left town with Barbara, but no, he sent her away, and he's, trying to save her because he knows they're both in grave danger. Well, as he's talking to the, chief of police, his boss, and she's like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna arrest Falcone and the mayor. And she's like, good luck. um, she's like, I'm not even crazy enough to do that, and it just that. And then when Victor comes in the next scene, he jumps up on the desk and he's like, I'm looking for Jim Gordon. Very, very intimidating in this scene. He gets up there, and just the look on his face and what's the word I'm looking, his posture. His posture as he's standing there on his desk and all eyes are on him. Jim comes out of the office and Victor's like, everyone out. And everyone's just like, really? Jim's like, I got 50 cops here. What are you going to do? Victor says, please. And everybody just scatters like mice. And that shows the power / corruption of Gotham right there. It shows, how everyone has their place, and, cops are obviously going to do their job. They're going to pull people over for speeding tickets. But when it comes to Falcone and Maroni, yeah, that's a completely another level of power right there that even, the mayor cowers to. Holy cow. And, Victor and his almost said henchmen, he has 2 women with him, and they're like, as tough as he is, trying to take out Gordon. Gordon gets shot, gets away by the skin of his teeth, thanks to, I kept forgetting his name. His name is Alan. Christmas Allen? Strange name, but nonetheless. The special force guys, and Montoya. Alan and Montoya. I love saying that. They save Gordon, and in the long run, she apologizes to him for, for doubting him, and turning on him, and after this, they go to Bruce Wayne's house, which ends up being another intense emotional scene. Jim Gordon goes into this like, and he's being very sincere to Bruce Wayne because he promised him he would find his parents' killers and solve this case. And he goes up to him and he's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And he's trying to speak very carefully, as one would speak to a child about a very sensitive situation. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. I have kids. I'd be the same way. Well, he doesn't have kids, but he's trying to be careful. And Bruce is like, quit talking to me like I'm a kid. Not many people know, but Bruce Wayne is working just as hard on this case as the cops are. He's got the whole thing set up, the investigation. He's got everybody's profiles, and he's building a case himself with Alfred's help. And, well, nonetheless, he sincerely tells him, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm turning this case over to Montoya and Allen. I trust them, and they're going to be able to, help you. And Bruce is distraught. He's very upset by this, and jumps and gives Gordon like a big hug goodbye, and the music and the scene, and it's like, it's like, wow, you almost get a lump in your throat watching this. It's intense, It's like the big goodbye, because Gordon doesn't know what's going to happen to him. He's basically, he feels like he's one of the big detectives in town, and he's, running for his life from everyone. Well, finally, Bullock decides to join Gordon. And he's like, shows up at his place with a whore, and he's drunk, and he's like, yeah, I'll join you. We're all going to die anyways, right? So, things are really rolling here. They show up at the mayor's office, or no, excuse me, not the mayor's office. They they get him in the limo, and Bullock's the driver, and I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it's something to the effect of, um, the mayor says something to the effect of, "Oh, you guys are joking, right? Or you guys are funny." And Harvey Bullock turns around. He's got the driver's cap on, and he's like, "Oh, it depends on where you're sitting." He's got some good one-liners in this episode. He really does. He's quite the character. They show up at Falcone's, and he's going to take them down for, uh, all the corruption of setting up the. I can't think of the guy's name. The guy that supposedly killed the Waynes, but he's going to arrest them both for all the corruption and conspiracy, and all the counts on that go along with that. And they go in, and it looks like, wow, they're really going to do this. They got the guns. They got Falcone. Falcone is just calm, cool, and collected. Yeah, he's like, oh, wow, you guys really think you're going to do this? And without even blinking, he's like, well, I'll tell you what. Victor Zsasz has Barbara hostage right now, and if you arrest me, she's dead. And Gordon's like, you're bluffing. And Falcone's like, no, I'm not. It's like he knew how this was all going to go down. And, boom, yeah, it was actually happening, because after Barbara was sent out of town from Gordon, she came back and went to Falcone to ask to spare his life. And Gordon's like, no, she didn't. And Falcone's like, yeah, she did. Sure enough, they march her in there, and then they're all sitting on the couch, weaponless, and it's like, oh, well, they're all they're dead. That's it. They're just dead. But Falcone, understanding the situation, and knowing how good the cops, Harvey and Gordon, are to the city of Gotham in general, decides to let them all go, decides to let them live. And Victor Zsasz is like, what are you doing? And Falcone's like, no, we're going to let them go. And it's weird. It really is weird. You'd think he'd be like, nah, that's, boom, 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 they're done, kill them. No, he lets them all go. Absolutely shocking. And the other part of this, the war in Gotham over Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin, because now, it's all come to light at the end of the last, episode, that he's alive. So now everyone's pissed off, because all of a sudden, Oswald Cobblepot, he knows a lot of things about a lot of different people, and it makes him a very valuable person, and also puts a giant price on his head. And, so he's at Maroni's side. Fish Moody's like, you need to hand him over to me. And Maroni's like, what? You want to start a war over this guy? Really? Is he that important? And she's like, yeah, he is that important. And Penguin's just snarky as hell, and he's like, I'm so sorry, blah 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 blah. And it snowballs from there. And all of a sudden, Maroni's decides to hit Falcone, because to show to show strength, between the two, saying, hey, you're not gonna, say jump and me say how high, I'm gonna stand up for this, and so in the process of that, Penguin, unbelievably, They do a hit on Nikolai, who had originally been teaming up with Fish Mooney, took him out with a bunch of henchmen, and at the same time, Maroni's top guy is all snarky, like, "Oh, I just get rid of you right now because I don't even like you," something to that effect. And Penguin's like, "Oh, you just made a huge mistake because obviously your men, are more loyal to me than you," and kills him. And it's like, okay, you just took out one of Falcone's biggest guys and Maroni's biggest guys at the same time. And it's getting crazy. So finally, Maroni and Falcone get together and they're like, look, this is getting worse and worse. We should really stop this before it gets too ugly. So they call a truce. And Maroni gets a section of land. Oh, excuse me. Falcone gets a section of land. Was it? Oh, the toxic dump. And I'm sure that's going to come into play somewhere down the road. It just, why would you give someone a toxic dump? And it's covering an Indian burial ground. That just sounds weird as heck right there. But it's in Arkham. So it's another part in the war over Arkham. Who wants that very valuable piece of property? So Penguin stays with Maroni. Everyone calls a truce. And then we see Falcone at the end of the episode. And here and there throughout this episode, we keep seeing him with chickens and more chickens and playing with chickens. He's got chickens on his property. Big fan of chickens. Weird. Anyways. And then, he's checking out his chickens in the hen house. And all of a sudden we see the umbrella coming up the hill. And here it's Penguin limping in the rain. And it looks like, oh, he's going to take out Falcone in the hen house. Boom. Just, come up behind him and cap him. No. All of a sudden, there's a flashback to a meeting between Penguin and Falcone, where Penguin swears to become the biggest snitch. And he's like, well, I'll go work for Maroni and take him out from the inside out. And only he and Falcone know about this because Penguin knows secrets about Fish Mooney too. And so absolute mind-blowing ending, how Penguin is slowly but surely taking out everyone from the inside out and gaining power all at the same time. It's just, at the end of the episode, I was like, wow, I just want to watch it again because it was so good. But yeah, that's the episode. Penguin's growing in power. We see a new guy, Victor Zsasz. Gordon barely gets out alive. And somehow in all this, everyone has a whole new respect for each other. Incredible episode. Man, I can't say enough about this. I'm really starting to enjoy this. It was a little. It seemed like it was a little slow. But that's good. It's it's character development. But this episode, oh my goodness, just steamrolling into this because now everyone's really starting to hit each other and crazy. So yeah, that's the episode. Gordon, long day. Gotham, number 7. Peguin's Umbrella. That's it. Loved it. What do you think of this episode? Did you like it as much as I do? Put it in the comments below. Let me hear from you. Thanks for watching, guys.